What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news after a damn near tiring SummerSlam weekend. But join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE star DOMINIK Mysterio unhappy, WWE embarrassed by low attendance, Kevin Owens warned about his health, a former WWE diva opens an OnlyFans, Kevin Owens also went off script, what did Roman Reigns say to Seth Rollins, concern for a former WWE star, Chelsea Green dedicates a win to Michael Hayes, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on our new Facebook page. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at the WWE star DOMINIK Mysterio unhappy. Now, our top story today looks at the WWE status of DOMINIK Mysterio, as a new post on X has shed some light on his standing in the company. Mysterio's booking has been one of the most contested topics of 2026, as Mysterio has been booked absolutely horrendously. Last year, Mysterio was booked to defeat both AJ Styles and John Cena on PLEs, yet months later, he's now losing to Danhausen in a stupid gimmick match that is straight out of WCW 2000. Fans feel like the WWE has massively let Mysterio down, especially as coming out of WrestleMania 41 last year, he was one of the most over names in the entire company, and he was legitimately one of the big favorites to win a world title in 2025. Sadly, in 2026, he really couldn't be further away from the world title scene, and he's seen as more of a comedic character and doesn't look like this is going to change anytime soon. A lot of fans pointed out that Mysterio looked completely and utterly dejected last night at SummerSlam, and the former Intercontinental Champion looked completely over it, and this has now been supported by a new post from Mysterio on X. Mysterio would post a gift stating that he's showing up just so he doesn't get fired. This has lit social media on fire today, as it all but confirms that Mysterio is unhappy with his standing with WWE right now, and who could possibly blame him? And it gets even worse, as the match rating on Cage Match has one of the lowest match ratings of a WWE match of all time. Based on 112 votes, the Match Guide rating has a 1.48. It's pretty clear that nobody asked for this match, and this really shouldn't have happened on SummerSlam when other wrestlers like Bron Breakker were twiddling their thumbs backstage. At least there was one good thing coming out of the match, as those Mini-Housens were putting in some serious work. Honestly, they were the only highlight of the match. Next up, WWE embarrassed by low attendance. As SummerSlam flopped hard this year in terms of attendance, the show was unable to get 40,000 fans in attendance for each respective night, and this meant that the stadium was about half full. WWE tried their best to disguise this, but at certain points in the show, it was greatly exposed that almost half of the stadium was completely empty. And let me just clear this one up. Yes, it looks full on camera because WWE have moved their stage forward. The stage is literally about 1/3 into the stadium itself, not pushed all the way back. So some people saying that they couldn't sell those seats because of the stage is not right. I'm not sure how that was so hard to fathom on Twitter, but it was. WWE, for the most part, does great camera work and always knows how to hide them, but on this occasion, they couldn't hide it that well. And there are a number of reasons why this occurred. Of course, the main issue is that tickets were extremely expensive, and major movements when it came to ticket sales only began to occur when WWE reduced its tickets to $25. And again, I'm not ragging on WWE for lowering their ticket prices to $25. That was a good thing, but it just came too late. And the second reason is that the product isn't that hot right now. WWE is still pretending like it's 2023 or 2024 when this simply isn't the case. WWE is delivering SmackDown in front of 4,000 people when they used to be selling out every single week. They're not doing good in terms of attendance at all. And according to the Wrestling Observer Radio, this was the first WWE Stadium show where WWE didn't announce the attendance during the show. This is the first time I can ever recall a WWE Stadium show where neither night they announced an attendance figure. I thought that maybe night 1 they're waiting for night 2, and they're going to say 70,000 people, but that tells you. And Meltzer would add that he believes it's due to AEW All In currently beating their attendance figure. I think it's partially because AEW is beating their number. If you go in there and say, even if they went and said 40,000 people, AEW is probably beating 40,000. So I think it's probably like, we can't be saying anything. Now, it kind of would have been incredibly awkward if Triple H announced the attendance figure and then the camera cut to half the stadium being tarped up. WWE definitely has work to do, especially with Survivor Series also being in a stadium this year and the War Games concept being rather tired. Fans are right now urging WWE to go back to arena shows for PLEs such as SummerSlam and Survivor Series, yet from their perspective, it makes more sense to have 35,000 fans in attendance rather than 18,000. Next up, when was Kevin Owens cleared? Kevin Owens has delivered his first major interview since returning to WWE, and he's revealed a ton of information relating to his injury. According to Owens on the post-show last night, he legitimately thought he was not going to be cleared, and he thought he was going to have to call it a day in the ring. There was a moment I thought it wasn't going to happen. I definitely did not make peace with it. I was not ready. Getting this taken away from you when you're not ready is hard. But I had such a great group of people around me to support me through it. My wife, my kids, my friends, the WWE medical staff, even you, Biggie. I would talk to you a lot, but I was never okay with it. Up to a month ago, I was like, this may be it. And thankfully it wasn't, as Kevin Owens came out to an absolutely thunderous ovation from the crowd and even had fans in attendance crying. That's how much his return meant to many people. But Kevin Owens was also warned about his health. Owens then revealed that once he and WWE were persistent with the scans, he was eventually cleared only a few weeks ago. We kept doing scans, it kept not showing what we were hoping for as far as a healing process from the surgery. Then I was like, well, maybe it's not going to happen. Then a couple of weeks ago they said, we finally saw what we needed to see, you can go back into the ring. From there, here I am. Now, whilst it's wonderful to see Owens back in WWE, there's definitely concern that he may re-injure himself. And the concern actually comes from comments made by Owens last night, as he would state that he'll be going all out for the run, and if this means he'll be forced to retire in 2 years, so be it. I was told by everyone, the WWE medical staff, my family, even my surgeon, please be careful. I told all of them, okay, I'll be careful. I'm never being careful. I'm giving everything I have. If that means I'm done in 2 years, I'm done in 2 years. But we're gonna have a blast. Owens definitely wasn't holding back on last night on his return, as the man was doing cannonballs and flips over the ropes. It never even looked like he was injured at all. It's definitely a testimony to what these wrestlers give in the ring. They put their careers on the line every single night. Now, Owens is set to feud with CM Punk over the WWE title, and the head of WWE Creative Triple H has promised that the feud will be epic in nature. It's what we do. Next up, a WWE name drops an F-bomb. Kevin Owens returning to WWE was certainly an emotional moment, and for one man, it was far too much. When Owens appeared on the post-show, he immediately ran to give Biggie a hug, and Biggie dropped a huge F-bomb. It's possible that Biggie didn't realize that his mic was on, or it's possible that he simply didn't care and was just overwhelmed with raw emotion, just like many of us at home. Next up, Kevin Owens goes off script. Now, Owens decided to deliver his first interview back in his very own unique way, and he decided to pay tribute to Rebel, who's currently battling ALS. There's somebody called Tiana Brooks, who's known to wrestling fans as Rebel. She's not wrestled here, but some things are bigger than wrestling. She's currently battling ALS, and the way she's doing it is so incredible. And I looked at her and what she's going through, and the way she powered through it, and it was truly inspirational. It's likely that this wasn't in KO's initial promo script, yet this goes to show what kind of wonderful human being the former Universal Champion is. Next up, WWE almost ran a match back. Now, one of the names that fans wanted to see wrestle John Cena last year was Kevin Owens. Sadly, due to Owens still being injured at the time, the match was not able to occur. Nevertheless, according to Owens last night, he tried to rush back so WWE could book Owens vs Cena during Cena's final run. Actually, July 18th, 2025 was my surgery. Usually 6 months in after the surgery is the first scan. I started asking him to do a scan at 3 months because when I was 20 years old, I had ACL surgery. Most people take 9 months to get back from that. Took me 3. So I'm like, this is the same thing. In 3 months, my bones are fused. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm going to come back before John Cena retires so I can wrestle him one last time. It's a massive shame that Owens vs Cena didn't happen at all, but at least Owens was seen in the crowd during Cena's final ever match at Saturday night's main event last December. Next up, Blake Monroe addresses Backlash. Despite being called up months ago, Blake Monroe is yet to wrestle a single match on the main roster. But now Monroe has had the opportunity to address these criticisms, and during an interview with SI's The Takedown, she stated that the timing has to be right for her to make her in-ring debut. Listen, you don't give it all away on a first date. I think good things take time, and timing is key, and you can't rush a good thing. If the time isn't right and you rush to have your debut, it's so easy to be forgotten about. Monroe has competed in a dark match before SmackDown, yet WWE has been hesitant to book her in an actual TV match. And it's not exactly clear why. It's possible that the injury to Rhea Ripley drastically altered her creative plans, as it was rumored that Monroe was set to feud with Tiffany Stratton. And of course, Stratton ended up competing in the interim women's ladder match last night. Next up, what did Roman Reigns say to Seth Rollins? Our fans had to wait a matter of minutes before finding out what Roman Reigns actually said to Seth Rollins after their SummerSlam match. In a post-match interview, the reigning world champion stated, It's always been me and you, since FCW, since Red Rooster was bitching at us. It's always been me and Seth, always been the two of us. Even in the Shield we knew Ambrose was with wild hair, but we knew we were the guys that were going to change this place. We're the pioneers of this place. When people left, when people were scared, when they ran off, we held the fort down. And it's a major surprise that Reigns didn't decide to keep this private, yet it's possible that Reigns simply believed there was no harm in fans knowing what he actually said, and it potentially added to the lore and drama of the match itself. Next up, a WWE title retired. Well, it's finally over. Trick Williams' US hairy design has been officially retired. According to Baron Corbin on the post-show last night, the design will be retired, and the old design will be reintroduced effective immediately. This was definitely the right call, as fans were quick to point out how ridiculous Corbin looked with Williams' title. Next up, concern for a former WWE star. Well, there's a ton of concern on social media today for former WWE star EC3. Footage was shown of EC3 making his entrance at an independent show in front of about 20 fans, and EC3 is sadly struggling to walk. He also doesn't even look like he's in the right state of mind at all. It really makes for difficult viewing, and it's unclear what has caused this, but hopefully EC3 is going to be getting some help both mentally and physically. Next up, a former WWE diva joins OnlyFans. Now it's actually finally happened. A former WWE diva has now joined OnlyFans, and it's Dawn Marie. The former WWE star and ECW legend announced that she's now opening up an OnlyFans, where she'll be chatting with subscribers and posting photos. Maybe a little bit too late for that? I don't know. And finally, Chelsea Green dedicates her win to Michael Hayes. Now, Final Story today looks at Chelsea Green and how she took the opportunity to call out WWE producer Michael Hayes. Last year, Hayes came under fire for making negative comments about Green, and he basically implied that she's not at the level of other names on the WWE roster. Of course, this is aged like complete milk, as Green is now the interim women's champion, and WWE is officially considering this as a world title reign. Hilariously, on the post-show SummerSlam last night, Green revealed that she dedicated the win to Michael Hayes, which naturally grew laughter from those who knew about the story. Now hopefully this doesn't land Green in any kind of trouble, as it was a harmless joke, and Green was only referencing what was depicted on a WWE program. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.